Hello and welcome to today's presentation on understanding ICM for leadership. My name is Chara. I'm going to be your host today. I am a data analyst and creative strategist, as well as a business consultant for nonprofit and mission-centered businesses. Through my skill set and expertise, I am to push the boundaries of what's possible for nonprofits and socially conscious businesses through high performance platforming and design. So whether you're a coach, a startup, or an established organization, I'm here to help you establish or refresh your nonprofit's identity as a community leader, ensuring that it connects and resonates more deeply with the communities that you serve. So welcome to today's presentation. Okay. So an introduction to the inherent characteristic model. The inherent characteristic model asserts that there are specific and innate psychological traits closely linked to effective leadership. These traits predict leadership success, but may overlook situational factors. Critics argue that the model itself oversimplifies leadership by focusing solely on individual traits. However, in my experience as a researcher, a deeper understanding and ability to recognize our own traits can form a valuable foundation for the leadership development, for our own leadership development, enhancing our leadership power and adaptability overall, regardless of our situational factors. So, the core concept, the inherent characteristic leadership model focuses on 5 fundamental psychological traits that are believed to be inherent in all effective leaders. A psychological trait is defined as a characteristic or a quality of an individual's personality or of their behavior that is relatively stable over time and across different situations. These traits are believed to be internal and inherent to an individual's psychological makeup, influencing how they think, how they feel, and how they behave. So, while different sources may outline these areas in slightly different ways, here are the 5 common psychological areas that I found to be most relevant to this model. 1, self-image. 2, emotional intelligence. 3, emotional plasticity. 4, problem solving. And 5, moral character. So if you look at the screen here, we have a simple diagram that shows how all of these, how these 5 different traits fit together to create the entire model for inherent characteristics. So how is each trait defined? For the purpose of this presentation, we will be defining these areas as follows. 1, self-image, your self-perception or your self-concept. 2, your emotional intelligence. So this would be your emotional awareness and how well you regulate your internal emotional states. 3 would be emotional plasticity. So this is your ability to adapt and to be flexible in what and how you might feel. And then your cognitive plasticity. So this is your ability to problem solve and to be flexible mentally. And then last but not least, your moral character, which would be your ethical and social behaviors. So the expanded knowledge. The expanded knowledge of this model is essential in order to deepen your understanding and to enhance your leadership effectiveness while you attempt to drive positive impact and change. By delving deeper into the nuances of this model, you'll uncover new insights, you'll refine your own skills as a leader, and you'll be able to adapt your own behaviors to better navigate the more complex challenges of your own personal leadership journey. So, self-image, self-perception, or self-concept. A strong self-image is crucial for this model because it's what forms the foundation for a leader's mental well-being, their drive, and their ability to successfully maintain their interpersonal relationships. So the 3 strongest indicators for a healthy self-image are: 1, their self-confidence. So that would be the belief that you have in yourself and your abilities. 2, self-esteem. The positive feelings that you have about yourself and the depth of your self-worth. And then 3, your self-efficacy. So this would be the ability that you have and your ability to map out your goals, to achieve those goals, and to succeed in specific tasks. Now, a leader without good self-image is generally ineffective at decision making. They lack self-confidence. They communicate very poorly. And overall, they welcome dysfunction or failure to the organization, to the group, or to the community. So, continuing on, emotional intelligence. So, this would be your emotional self-awareness and regulation. So, emotional self-awareness, so understanding one's emotions, and the emotional regulation, how well you manage those emotions, are crucial for effective leadership. These are the 2 components that enhances a leader's ability to understand themselves, to relate correctly to others, and to navigate complex interpersonal dynamics successfully, ultimately leading to a better performance as a team, as a group, and as a community. The 2 strongest indicators of a strong and healthy emotional intelligence are: 1, emotional self-awareness, so how well you understand the difference in your emotions. 2, emotional regulation, how well you manage and control the emotions that you're having. A leader that lacks emotional intelligence struggles with self-awareness, emotional control, being able to motivate others, understanding different perspectives, and building positive relationships, which can potentially lead to ongoing and unnecessary conflict, and it may end up creating challenges for the company, for the group, or oh, sorry, it looks like I skipped down all the way down here. But basically creating conflicts that did not exist before, for the company, for the group, or for the community. Um, Next will be emotional plasticity. So this is emotional adaptability and flexibility. So emotional plasticity is another vital component in the ICM for leadership. It enables leaders to adjust their emotions according to whatever the situation is, to remain resilient in the face of the challenges that present, and it allows them to effectively navigate diverse interpersonal dynamics, fostering better communication, decision making, and team performance. In the context of the ICM, the 3 strongest indicators of a healthy and well-functioning emotional plasticity are: 1, adaptability. So this is your ability to adjust your emotions based on changing circumstances and challenges. 2, resilience. So this is the capacity that you have to bounce back from setbacks, failures, and adversity. And then last but not least, your flexibility. So this is the capability that you have to respond to various situations with openness, creativity, and agility. In the absence of strong and healthy emotional plasticity, a leader can become a danger due to their rigidity, due to their emotional instability, their emotional unavailability, and with their inability to cope with uncertainty, with change, or with setbacks constructively. All of which generally leads to poor decision making, interpersonal strife, team, group, or community disengagement, and the overall loss of direction for those that are under their care. Cognitive plasticity would be your ability to problem solve and the mental flexibility required to do so. Cognitive plasticity in the ICM for leadership pertains to a leader's ability to problem solve and to remain mentally agile. It involves the skills required to adjust the way that you think about a problem in order to devise creative solutions and to navigate the intricate challenges and changes that naturally occur thereby improving your leadership prowess and decision-making aptitude. So being able to problem solve and to make the right calls. In the context of the ICM, the three strongest indicators of cognitive plasticity are: one, problem solving skills. So, this is your ability to demonstrate that you can effectively analyze a problem and to create an innovative solution. Two, your mental agility, being able to adapt your thinking process and approach to the situation as it changes, especially so if it's a situation that you've never experienced. And then three, your adaptability, having the capacity to adjust your strategies and perspectives when faced with new, challenging, or changing circumstances. Without a strong cognitive plasticity, you will see a leader struggle to effectively solve problems, to adapt to changing circumstances, and to think openly and creatively, no matter what the circumstance is. This can, when a leader is unable to do this, it can lead to poor decision making, limited options, resistance to change, and an inability to navigate the challenge successfully. Ultimately, sorry, I just got a very strange notification. Ultimately, hindering progress towards the larger overarching goals of the organization or the community. Now, the last element of the ICM is moral character, which is your ethical and social behaviors. Now, please note, in the context of this model, moral character is not just about following the rules of the group. It also encompasses deeper ethical values, genuine empathy, social responsibility, and ethical decision making beyond mere compliance. So, as it applies to the ICM, moral character refers to the combination of ethical integrity and social behaviors that guides an individual to uphold ethical principles, to demonstrate honesty and integrity, and to act responsibly in social context, to show empathy, and to make ethical decisions of varying degrees according to the situation. In the context of this model, the three strongest indicators for a healthy moral character is: one, ethical integrity. So this is demonstrating that you have a strong commitment to practicing and upholding ethical principles, to being honest, and to practicing integrity in your decision making and action taking steps. Two, social responsibility, showing a sense of responsibility towards the well being of the team, the group, and the community that you serve as a whole. And last but not least, your empathy. So this means displaying empathy by understanding and showing consideration, real consideration for the feelings and perspectives of others, and leading in a compassionate and fair way. A leader without strong moral character endangers the community's trust, it endangers the culture, and it endangers the group's ability to effectively contribute to society as a larger system. The lack of ethical integrity will also lead to unethical decision making, and it can ultimately do damage to the reputation of the leader and the group as a whole. The absence of social responsibility and empathy often results in various kinds of neglect, reduced sense of well being, and a proliferation of a more toxic or negative environment that ultimately leads to the breakdown of bonds and relationships that were once healthy and strong. So